All right, welcome. This is Ars Amatoria, Book 1, um, Sentence 22, or excuse me, Line 22, part of the homework assignment for class. If you're in my class, otherwise you may just be interested in tree banking. Here we will go through quickly the correct answer for this particular uh, sentence. Tertius ut longo tempora durat amor. Uh, Morphology generally is a good way to start. Tertius, an adjective, singular masculine nominative, is correct. Ut is, in fact, uh, the conjunction. Excuse me. Longo is neuter singular ablative adjective. Tempora is correct. Duret is a form of duro, not durio. Verb, third singular present subjunctive active. Amor is not a form of amo, but rather the noun in the nominative. There we have the morphology of this sentence correct. Now let's work on the relations. Well, we've got two clauses here. We've got ut longo tempore duret amor, introduced by ut with a subjunctive verb, duret, and this is clearly a subordinate clause. And so we need a main verb, the main verb. So we will decide how to handle this. We need to add an ellipsis. So we go to the ellipsis tag, create something, and I think what we're going to create here is est, because this sentence says the third job, the third labor, is that love lasts a long time, for a long time. So I'm going to put my ellipsis after the punctuation, just because that's a convention that I like to follow. Est becomes our main verb. Then tertius hangs on est. Then ut is a subordinating conjunction, which will also hang on est. Amor, subject of duret. Longo modifies tempore. Tempore also modifies duret. And so we end up with this particular configuration. The third job is that love lasts a long time. Now, let's go through and put the relationships in. Well, as we said, the main verb is est, which we've had to supply. Tertius stands for tertius labor, which is the subject. Ut is a subordinating conjunction, which we'll handle that way. Duret is the verb of the clause. We're going to leave that for a minute. Amor, nominative, is the subject of that clause. Tempore is an ablative. So do we have an appropriate ablative? It seems that it's an ablative of time, but time within which doesn't seem right. Time when, it really seems like an extent of time. But we'd expect an accusative for that. Can we really have an ablative that does that kind of thing? That is, in fact, what the note tells us. And so even though perhaps we don't agree with the note, we are going to put, because our textbook advises us, our edition advises us to do this, we're going to follow the editor and call this an ablative of time within which brings us to longo, an adjective used attributively. And now all we need to do is figure out what kind of clause this is. Again, I disagree with the footnote here, but it suggests a purpose clause. The purpose of the third section of the book is how the person interprets it. So we will mark it so. I'm thinking more substantive clause. The third job is that love lasts a long time. But we needn't quibble here. We will go ahead and accept the suggestion made by the editor, Murgatroyd. All right, that's all we have for the second line of our homework for line 22, and this couplet is now complete.